Hey everyone, it's Elise. This video is going to be talking about why you should back up your files and the different ways to back up your files. The reason you should back up your files is to avoid losing them in a case of a virus or a part mishap in your computer where your computer won't turn on, a natural disaster where maybe your house and all the things are damaged inside or destroyed, or even a robbery. You never know why something might happen to where you could lose your files. So the point is to avoid losing your files by having a backup plan. And so there's lots of different ways to back up your files. And there's lots of different options for whatever your needs may be. One of the ways that's becoming pretty popular lately is an external hard drive, and I think the main reason they're becoming more popular is because they're just getting cheaper. When I was at Best Buy in November, so yeah, it was around the Christmas sales and all that, they had external hard drives for about $100, which was a great deal, and you get a really good amount of space for that. So if you go during sales, you can get them even cheaper than that, and the prices of these things are just dropping. So they're a great idea and a great alternative. And one of the pros is that you do get extra hard drive space that your computer can use. You know, you don't have to just back up your genealogy files onto there. You could also store other files on there. But the only problem with this, though, is that it's not off-site. So if something happens to your house, like a robbery or something like a natural disaster, then you won't be able to restore those backed up files because your backed up files are gone. So another option, which is definitely relatively cheap, is CDs, DVDs, or flash drives. So you back up your files onto one of these things. For example, you burn your files onto a CD, and one of the ways to make it portable is that you just send it off to a friend who lives somewhere else. So that way, if anything were to happen, they can just send you the CD. They can just mail the CD back to you, and you're all good. The only problem with this, though, that I really don't like is that you have to do it yourself. And since you have to do it yourself, it's harder to remember, and you're not going to get the most updated thing, you know, because sometimes we're really busy and you don't think of updating it as often as you should, and then something goes wrong and you need to get those backup files and you don't have the most recent one, and it's nice that you have one from 3 months ago, but you just lost 3 months of information. And it can get kind of expensive when you're doing it over and over and over again, but another thing, it can cause a lot of clutter, because, you know, after a while you have like this big stack of CDs, and that can be a huge pain. But a great option are online external backup services. Now, what these do is you generally download a program onto your computer, and you tell that program what files you want to back up. And then that program, you know, you can schedule a time for it to back up files, you know, every night, or, you know, every other night, or once a week, or whatever is good for you, and it will back up those files onto internet servers. And that's a great way. So if anything ever happens, for one, it's off-site. Two, it's pretty easy to download, and your files are saved. It's automatic. You know, it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't have to think about it anymore. And if you use Mosey, you get 2 gigabytes free to start out with, which is a great way if you don't want to like commit to trying out Mosey. It's a great way just to try out the website and try out their programs and see if you like it. And then if you do, you can sign up for the $4.95 a month plan. So it's like $5 a month. You know, it's a Starbucks drink, and you get unlimited backup stuff. There's also Carbonite, which is also really popular, although I've never used Carbonite, so I don't know how good they are. But I've heard good things about them, and they are $54.95 a year. So, and you get unlimited with that too. So they're not bad. They're pretty close in price. Technically, it looks like Carbonite's a little cheaper, but just by a couple of bucks. So yeah, I highly suggest that you definitely back up your files. Thomas McGinty of Genealogy does Data Backup Day on the 1st of every single month, which is a great little reminder to say, oh yeah, I should probably back up my files because it's been a month. And that way, if anything happens, you're safe. You know, remember, it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to lose all of this valuable information. You know, all your genealogy files that you've been collecting, from photos to GEDCOM files, you know, correspondence and documents and all that, you don't want to lose it. We spend so much time and oftentimes money collecting all this stuff, so why lose it? Alright, so I hope this was informative, and I hope you guys are going to be backing up your files from now on. So, have a nice time!